Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel Study with Medico. Hope you all are doing great. So further delay, let's get started the topic. In today's sessions, we are going to study about the phylums from Porifera to chordates. So let's start the topic. Let's start the topic phylum Porifera. These phylums are commonly known as fungus. They are marine and mostly asymmetric animals. These are primitive multicellular animals and have cellular level of organizations. The sponges have water transport or canal systems in which water enters through the ostia and stay in spongiocells and water goes out through osculum. This pathway helps in food gathering, respiratory actions and removal of waste. They have choanocytes or collar cells which line the spongiocells and the canals. Digestion is intracellular and instead of bones they have spicules or spongin fiber. Sexes are not separate and they have development as indirect type development, having a larva stage which is morphologically distinct from the adult. The next phylum is Coelenterales or Cnidaria. The name so because they have cnidoblast or cnidocytes. These organisms are mostly marine and free living. We can see radial symmetry in these organisms. These cnidarians exhibit tissue levels of organizations. We can show gastrovascular cavity with single opening and mouth and hyposome. Digestion is extracellular and intracellular both, and this cnidarian exhibit two basic body forms called polyp and medusa. We can see alternations of generation which is called as metagenesis. Polyp produce medusa asexually and medusa produce polyps sexually. The next phylum is Ctenophora, which is also called as sea walnuts or jellies. They are exclusively marine, they show radially symmetric and they are diploblastic. The organism exhibit tissue levels of organizations. They have complex digestion is both extracellular and intracellular. This shows the property of bioluminescence. It means these organisms emit light. Sexes are not separate and the reproduction takes place only by sexual means. Fertilization is external and with indirect development. इसका example है Fluorobaccia and Ctenophlana. The next phylum is Platyhelminthes, which means they have flattened body. They are also called as flatworms. They are mostly endoparasites. They cause disease in human beings. They have hooks and suckers which help them to absorb nutrients from the host body. They have specialized cells called flame cells or protonephridia which helps them to osmoregulations and excretions. Sexes are not separate. Fertilization is internal and some platyhelminthes, for example planaria, which possesses high generating capacity. Examples है Tenia and Fasciola. The next phylum is Aschelminthes. As here, as means ascarids, or it is called as round wasp, whose body is circular in cross sections. They are bilateral symmetry, diploblastic and pseudocoelomate animals. Alimentary canal is completed with a well-developed muscular pharynx. They have excretory ports in which the excretory waste are removed from the body. Sex are separate. That means they are dioecious. Females and males are distinct. They have internal development and young ones resemble the adults. Examples say Ascaris, Eucherichia and Cyclostoma. Then we move further for the phylum Annelid. Annelid means annulus or little ring-like structures present in these organisms. They are aquatics and terrestrials. They show bilateral symmetry. They are diploblastic and metamorphically segmented forms are present in them. They possess longitudinal and circular muscles which helps them in locomotions. In aquatic annelids like Nereis, they possess parapodia which help them in locomotions. The closed circulatory system is present. Nephridia helps in osmoregulations and excretions, and Nereis in an aquatic form is dioecious, but Yathom and leeches are monoecious. Reproduction is in sexual mode, and examples are Nereis, Ferretima and Hirudina, which is a blood-sucking leech, and Ferretima, which is usually called as the yacht worm. Then we move further for the phylum Arthropoda. Here arthro means joints and poda means appendages or legs. This organism shows joint appendages or joint legs. Over two-thirds of all named species on earth are arthropods. They show bilateral symmetry. They are triploblastic and segmented and coilumate animals. The body is covered by chitinous exoskeletons. The body have three parts: head, thorax, and abdomen. In the respiratory organs are gills, book lungs, and tracheal systems. The circulatory system is open type, and sensory organs like antenna are present. And the balancing organ is testis, and excretion takes place through Malpighian tubules. They are mostly dioecious. Fertilization is usually internal, and they are mostly oviparous. Development may be direct or indirect. Examples are the vectors Anopheles, Culex, and Aedes, and the Gorgonus phase, that is leucus, living fossils like Limulus or king crab. Then we move further for the phylum Mollusca, which is called as the second largest animal phylum. They are terrestrial aquatics having organ system level of organizations. They are bilateral symmetry, triploblastic and coilumate animals. The body is covered by calcareous cells and is unsegmented with a distinct head, muscular foot, and visceral hump. The space between the hump and the mental cavity called the mental cavity, in which feather-like gills are present. They have respiratory and excretory function. They have radula, which is file-like rasping organs. Examples are pila or octopus. Move further for the phylum Echinoderms. They have endoskeletons of calcareous vesicles, so the name so, and the adult Echinodermata shows radial symmetry, but the larval shows bilateral symmetry. They have organ system level of organizations. They are diploblastic and coilumate animals. Digestive system is complete with mouth on the lower and ventral sides and anus on the upper side. The most distinct feature is the presence of water vascular system. Excretory system is absent. Sexes are separate. Reproduction is sexual, and fertilization is usually external, and development is indirect with free swimming larvae. Examples say Asteris starfish,